Day 0 Part 10 Argentos against zombies. Clocktime. The first songs of pest. The aroma of coffee floats in the air of the morning. But the Argentines start the day by taking mate, and so the day continues, sucking that green tea of Paraguayan origin and ochre flavor, that suck with a metallic ice cream in a Calabacan or Dorito. There are those who sweeten it away from the original flavor. The rumors started as bar comments. The old men shrugged their shoulders, thinking it was just another stupid urban legend. News for days talked about an outbreak of African rabies in the capital and 2 other big cities in the country, and isolated cases in different small towns, and that the Ministry of Health had those situations under control. In other news, between police cases and corruption trials, where they released the accused with legal technicisms, and politicians and businessmen for suspicion of having links with the traffic of the already known ZOMBIEDROG. The zombie drug consists of a number of dangerous and addictive substances. There is no single specific drug called zombie. There are several associated substances. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is up to 50 times more powerful than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. It is used in medicine to relieve extreme pain. And clandestinely manufactured illegal fentanyl is the danger. This illegal fentanyl is linked to the overdose epidemic. Its effects are intense and lasting up to 12 hours. The symptoms are small and contracted pupils, such as the tip of the whip, white eyes, dormition or unconsciousness, weak or non-existent breathing, noise of dragging. There are other synthetic, zombie, drugs that are usually mixed with plant products and are offered as smoking or by injection, with effects of hallucinations, aggression and physical and mental deterioration. Traffickers distribute it on the streets, and its consumption has spread like a fire. Social networks and rumors contribute to its spread, and lack of control makes it difficult to stop it. Zombie drug is a real and deadly threat, affecting addicts and society. Authorities and health professionals are failing to tackle the epidemic and prevent more deaths. In the streets of Rosario, the shadows shorten in the morning, and the whispers spread insidiously. Another stupid urban legend, they whisper as they cling to their mate. But I know something. I saw the signs. I've heard conversations from truck drivers in roadside cafes. The plague is here. And it's not African rabies or any other known virus. It's a little more twisted. Something that has a simple explanation. The news speaks of isolated cases in different parts of the country. People who behave strangely, who lose courtesy. It's different. Hospitals are overrun, and doctors do not have enough resources. Symptoms include hallucinations, motor dysfunction, loss of speech, aggression, and then they die. The professionals of the various units of dangerous drugs research still do not publicly declare the results of their investigations. The secret agents of the intelligence services continue in their noble task of internal espionage, and of the political opposition there are in the bars wasting time. On the streets, the highly addictive ZOMBIEDROG, as they call it, has spread like a joke about who the neighbor sleeps with, and the traffickers get astronomically rich. Buy what you want, and whoever you want. INTHELOWBARRIOSOFTHESOUTHOFTHECAPITAL, a journalist from one of the most important radios, came to report a case of attack on a minor, and while consulting a neighbor investigating the case, which could be an attempt to aggravate femicide, the neighbor guarding her identity commented on the free drug trade, and that they said the boy, 31 years old, was good, but that he was consuming, and that he had been talking about the zombie drug. The tragedy was broadcast live because the journalist was communicating with her cell phone with the most popular program when she was attacked by the bat, receiving fatal bites in her neck. Live heard in most of the country 2 shouts of pain and the chills of the interviewer. It is presumed that the cell phone broke by falling, cutting the communication. There was a huge bullying and excitement radio and TV, while the famous people gave their condolences in various media, and the authorities cataloged it as a punctual and isolated case of the aggression of an individual with serious mental problems that is being intensely sought by security agents and investigations. The whole country witnessed. But the tragedy didn't stop. The authorities minimized the incident, but the truth was darker. The individual with mental problems continued his hunt, hungry The chronicler, now part of the story, became a legend. Your latest report, the zombie drug, was not just a story. It was a real nightmare that spread through the streets, devoured everything on its way. And as the lights of the television studios flashed, the region was sinking into darkness, thickening. Family streets are paths of uncertainty. Night flies don't come from dogs. The authorities, overwhelmed and desperate, try to contain the tide of madness. The hospitals, once healing shelters, are now camps of drug zombies, with sinking eyes and empty gazes in shady corners of horror. The media went from trivial news to desperate warnings. The famous, once unattainable, hide. Mercenaries, they offer themselves as protectors in exchange for a price. In the shadows, the mafia is reorganized. Its members, formerly engaged in drug trafficking and extortion, now traffic, with sometimes certain security sales. Immigrants, displaced and frightened, seek refuge in churches, where the candles go out among supplications to indifferent deities. Scientists, in their clandestine laboratories, study blood and tissue samples without sufficient technical elements. Conspiracy theorists, in their cellars, illuminated by monitors, connect the invisible points. Political leaders, in their carefully drafted, but poorly read speeches, promise solutions, while their eyes betray them. And in the middle of all this, zombies move forward more twisted than the living dead in the movies. The zombie drug, an infernal creation, has infected the veins of humanity. The flesh breaks down, while the mind loses consciousness. The eyes shine with hunger. The chills of the infected are mixed with the wind, and the security agents, armed and fearful, find the epidemic spreading. Politicians, and those who used to traffic with influence and corruption, are now hiding in their fortified mansions. Their guards have fallen one after another, victims of the same plague that plagues the streets. The laws and legal technicisms no longer protect them. Justice is a memory. The capital, it's a deteriorated scenario. The buildings start to look abandoned, the lights turn off. The graffiti on the walls curses, and the clocks continue to mark the time in regressive count until the survivors are finished eating. In unexpected places, the eyes watch, the teeth look and wait. The tragedy extends into a grave silence. In my little apartment, I'm preparing. I'm not a hero or a soldier. I'm just another survivor, trying to keep myself alive. But I have one advantage: experience. I've seen the worst of humanity, and I know that the real threat is not the zombies, but those who have lost their humanity and their soul. My hometown has become a battlefield. The streets are filled with shouting, shooting, and smell of dust, blood and garbage, and there are also moments of solidarity. Neighbors who help each other, sharing food and shelter. Not all of them are monsters. As I write these words, I know my time is running out. Soon I will have to get out of my hiding place and face the darkness. Maybe I'll find others like me, willing to fight for a living. Or maybe, just maybe, there's an end to this damn plague. But one thing is certain, the fight for survival has begun. And I'm willing to give it all, for my people and for the humanity that's still in us. To the end.